Hello YouTube, this is Tammy Pie and I'm back with another video. I'm here today on April Fool's Day, April 1st, to do the March installment of hashtag Deck of the Month, also known as hashtag Deck of the Year Project 2025. And this is our friend Masha at Musings by Masha's latest project, and it's going to go on all year. So this is basically my March recap. And a lot happened. A lot has happened in March. I did either 19 or 20 videos in March. 16 of which were the Tarot March Madness by Crescent Dreams Tarot, which was incredibly fun, illuminating, and really interesting. It was interesting to go to the back of my shelves, such as they are, and look at some things that either I hadn't worked with at all yet, or I haven't worked with in a while because they've been in my collection for a while and they got, overtaken by other entertaining toys or, new decks. Things come in and we do other stuff and forget our old friends. So to start off with, last month I said I finished a book. This month I also finished both these books. As it turned out, I hadn't read either one of them. So those two can go back to the Take One, Leave One library. They're all over the place. I go to a couple different library sales once or twice a month. This coming month, we're supposed to go to the Hilo library sale, I think next week. And that's fun. Because I got one of the good books that I got over the month there in Hilo, which was this one here. So this is an old printing of Robert Wang's The Kabbalistic Tarot, which is incredibly useful. Another one of my year-long things that I'm trying to do is get back in touch with my roots, which, as you may or may not know, is the Thoth Tarot. So that I'm doing kind of a casual, I forget who put it this way, but deck and stroll. Keeping in touch with my Thoth and my Thoth-inspired decks, my Kabbalistic decks, up to including decks that are not Thoth, but that are Kabbalistic. I'm also enjoying some other books, like I've been doing a little YouTube watching. What is that guy's name? I think the Grim Adventures. I watched them walk through the old temple, Aleister Crowley's temple. And this is one of the books that I found in Hilo last time I went for a reasonable price. So I definitely wanted to look at some of his writing, on top of the Book of Thoth, which I have on my tablet, and on top of the Golden Dawn that I'm looking at. I also found this one, which I really have been interested in. This is the Celtic Wisdom Encyclopedia of the Celtic Wisdom, a Celtic Shaman's Source Book by Caitlin and John Matthews. Beautiful, Celtic knotwork in there. And because I'm gonna start doing the Caitlin Matthews Arthurian, the Arthurian Tarot Course. Now, I don't have the Arthurian Tarot. However, one of the decks that I got in, and I got this from Germany, secondhand. So it's got a little box damage, but the deck itself is perfectly intact. There are plenty of walkthroughs of this here on YouTube. This is illustrated by Tourian. It's Claire Duval's Lake Tarot Arthurian. So I'm going to work with those, and I figured this would be a fun thing to get into with that. And then just recently I went to the bookstore here in town and found Lon Milo Duquette's book, on Solomon's Key. Solomon's Key is on the outside of the Vitruvian tarot tiles. And this, the Druidry Handbook, which I thought would be an interesting companion to all that. It's another, it's John Michael Greer, who is a contemporary of the Matthews, and also very interesting as far as that goes. I also got, on Women's Day, we were in Hilo, and I got The Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud, which it seems like everybody and their mother is kind of looking at that right now. I know Lisa Papez, her study group this month is with The Fairies Oracle, and I got Our Tarot, which I've been wanting for a long time, and it just, things present themselves, right? I also got in the Wisdom of Pooh Tarot. I decided to go ahead and grab this one because she's got them on sale. I'm pretty sure she still has them on sale right now. Because the people who run Ruined Ravine, they want, they're now doing their Alice in Wonderland. I believe they're doing an Alice in Wonderland tarot. And they've got the Wisdom of Pooh and Tigger 2 coming out. So they put this one on sale so that the people who haven't gotten it yet can get a chance, and it's a very kind discount that they've given because they want to give people who have less money the option to get the tarot too. And of course we had Tarot March Madness, which was conceptualized by Livy over at Crescent Dreams Tarot, and there were several channels that were doing it. Rose Honey Ritual now keeps her channel behind a behind the paywall, but you don't really have to pay for it. It's what do you call it when you join the group? I'm sorry, I can't think right now. But yeah. So I watched hers, and hers was entertaining as all get out because of course she has the weirdest decks. And the weirdest deck against weirdest deck, and combined with other weird decks, Meg really fun to watch. Also, there were a couple of newer channels that did it. Robin's Reflections did it. Hers were really good. Who else? A bunch of people did it, and it was really fun to watch all the different kind of ways of going about it. Some people did 2 battles in one video. Some people did different types of decks against each other. Some people did only 8 decks rather than 16. And actually, I think Livy and I were the only ones that actually did 16 decks. But in the end, the winner was my beloved old Tyldwick. And I'll tell you something, Tyldwick is the first deck I ever bought for myself. So that tells you, and it's a first edition. I bought it when Neil was still running Malpertuis, and it tells you how old the deck is, and it did beautifully. But in the run were these 2 decks, which is the Aquamarine Tarot. Aquamarine got all the way to the championship, and this deck is a great deck. I'm so glad. I almost traded this deck a couple of times. And I'm so glad that I kept it because it really, it reads wonderfully. The imagery is great. If you love a good collage deck, that is for sure one. And of course, Queer Tarot, which I already loved the deck. I had traded for this deck right when it kind of first came out. And when I got it with the intention of giving it to my youngest daughter who is gay. And I knew she would enjoy it and be able to read for her friends with it and see herself in it. And when I had the opportunity to trade for it again and have it in my collection here, I was really thrilled. And it did really well in the Tarot March Madness. So this will be coming out more often. I also spent some time, although not as much as I wanted, because I didn't realize how much Tarot March Madness was going to take the time. I don't have a great time planning brain, so I didn't realize it was going to be like all the time, all month, but that was fine. I spent some time with this. It was in the contest. It kind of got taken out pretty quick, but having a good time with that. I am still working on it. I will finish figuring out the reading style that's in the end of the book, and then I'll come back with a review on that this coming month during April. Really am having a great love affair with this one. This is the Out of Hand Tarot by Jamie Sawyer. Jamie Sawyer's new deck, the Felt Tarot, or as I call it, the Barney Tarot, because the fool is Barney, her dog who passed last year. This pocket edition of the Out of Hand is really fun, particularly if you're trying to do bigger spreads, or like Jamie does those spreads with all different kinds of cards. This is really fun to do with that. I'm gonna do a review of the Felt Tarot. It's gonna go up on Kickstarter on May 6th. And when I do that, we'll do some fun work with it. There's my significator, Queen of Cups. Look at the tower. And we'll play around with her style of using the tiles and oracle and different kinds of cards in a spread in a creative way. She calls it creative divination. Also, I really have been enjoying the Circe Tarot. I'm going to spend some more time with the Circe Tarot. I don't know what I did with my Delian Oracle. I think it might be next door. But Circe Tarot with Delian. I'm going to pair Delian with a couple other decks. I have a couple decks that are actually up at my brother's house that came in a couple days ago, but I'm waiting for a second package. I have a friend that mailed me something from foreign country. It doesn't come to P.O. box. Anyway, and I've also been having a really good time with my RWS Mundi by Nova Mundi. And this is the Jewels and Frost version. And I've been taking it outside. This one has taken the space in my purse that is usually taken up by Nellie. I went ahead and took Nellie out because I keep showing Nellie in every other video going, this is the deck I have all the time. So I decided that this is going to be the deck I have all the time for a while. And it's a really fun RWS that is double-sided. Mine happens to be on plastic, but the front side is this jewel-colored version with all these beautiful kind of reworked RWS images in that. And then it's the same card, but in the frost version. And you might think that these would get turned around, but they really don't. The jewel is very different from the frost. Even though some of these are kind of bluish purple, you really don't mix them up with the frost. The frost is a definite, and the frost feels kind of shadowy. The frost feels ghosty to me. Yeah. So I've been really enjoying this, particularly outside near the ocean, on my walks at Maka'eo. And yeah, we're having a good time. My granddaughter will be 6 months old, April 16th. So that should be really fun. I'm going to say that the deck of the month this year is definitely Tyldwick. And because Tyldwick won, it took it away. And it took it away very often, not just because it has this great cardstock, which, you know, it's a really good size. It's very common RWS exactly size. It has the beautiful gilding, which it's getting a little weathered from being shuffled for 12 years, maybe a little longer than that. But it really did well in the reading part. This deck did 3 card readings beautifully. It did 5 card readings beautifully. It did 9 card readings beautifully. It did Romany style readings beautifully. And I've been asked, and I will do a mini series talking about this, doing a very in-depth deep dive on the Tyldwick Tarot. So stay tuned to the channel in April for that. Probably at least 2 parts, maybe 3 parts. Talking about how I read with it and the imagery and my experiences with it and whatnot. But I jumped on the chance to do that because this is my deck of the month and I really enjoyed working with it again. What else? I am going to really work on actually doing this and working with this book and this book. And I may actually even pull this book into it because, let's face it, some of that Arthurian stuff also has some like very early Christianity to do with it. And all that gets rolled into the tarot. Again, I will do a more in-depth look at this once I've figured out the reading style of I forget whether it's Milan or well, let's look at the book. Comte de Millet. The 7 Patterns. Guide to the Comte de Millet's method of divination. Okay? So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to play around, do a few readings like this, and then we'll get deep into it. Okay? And then I have a couple other decks coming. I have a couple gifts coming from viewers who wanted to send me stuff. Somebody is sending me one of the Neil Lovell's Lenormand decks, which I'm totally excited to have. I've always wanted one of those decks. Maybe someday I'll get the Wizard's Lair, which is the ones that I really wanted, but I'm not even sure which one she's sending me. But yeah, that should come any day now. I have that MPC order, which is up at my brother's now, which has the Lacrimosa in it. And maybe we'll do an unfair comparison between Lacrimosa and the Sistine. That would be fun. Also, I have another Minchiati coming. That's all Nova, Terra Nova's fault, because she showed some really beautiful spring decks, and there was a Minchiati in there that I had to have, which is coming all the way from Europe. I think the lady is in Italy. She might be in Spain, but it comes from across the waters. And of course, I'll be getting the Felt Tarot in to give you a preview of that, so that you can go sign up. The Cracked Amethyst deck did really well. We didn't get to the Lenormand, so we don't get a Cracked Amethyst Lenormand, which is fine. How many Lenormands do we need? All of them, but you know. Wah. And yeah, that's about it for now, and thank you for coming.